I'm Pachi. I am speaking to you from Brazil. I work as a developer relations and tech community manager. That means I work a lot with the communities. And in the recent past, I had the pleasure at work at GitHub, where I learned about open source a lot. And today I'm here to share you a little bit about how you can use open source to develop your career. And build bridges. That's something that open source is really great for. And I'm going to share a little bit about what I have learned in my years as a developer advocate and in my years as an open sourcer enthusiast. So first things first, introduction. What I want to tell you about today is that open source isn't just about code. Code is like a tiny piece of what open source is. Open source is about community, is about contribution, is about collaboration. And today I'm going to show you a bit about the power of that. We can use open source to learn, to grow, to meet people. And I'm super excited for us to share this together today. And really, I wanted to leave this talk knowing how open source can really be a game changer for your career. And please drink water. So, I love talking about the power of open source. It's really like a superpower that you can have. I'm talking mostly for developers, as this is my focus, but some things I'm gonna talk through this talk can be applied to anybody that works on tech, not only with code, right? I want to talk a little more about that. But yes, contributing to open source is a powerful way to enhance your skills, and not only your technical skills, your soft skills as well. It's personal skills. Is a real world experience that you can have without having to have an actual job. This is really great for people that are starting in tech, but through this talk, I'm going to talk to you as well. If you're not a newbie, you're a senior developer, here there is still space, there is still things you can learn and doing open source that are going to be great for your career. So, first benefit from working on open source is enhancing your skills, really. From debugging to collaboration, open source products can really help you to level up. Let's talk through a little scenario, right? You want to collaborate. We're going to talk more about how to start it in the end, but let's talk to like make believe here. You are collaborating to an open source project. You find a project, and first thing you're gonna do is look at the issues, right? So you're gonna use here a little of a searching skill to look for the issue that makes more sense to you. Once you find the right issue, you're gonna ask people if you can work on that. So that's gonna be some communication, right? You're gonna have exchange there. Can I work on this issue? What do I need to know? So like this is the first piece that you're gonna be learning. You're gonna be practicing this communication. That is very important, right? After that, you're gonna do all the Git flow. You're gonna fork the repository. You're gonna work at that issue, and maybe you're gonna get stuck. So you're gonna have to research. You're gonna have to talk to people again to find a solution. And after that, you find a solution. You're gonna send a code to review. Code reviews are such an awesome way to improve your skills when you find like good people that give you good reviews. They're gonna tell you what is good in your code, what is not great, where it can be improved. You also learn how to take feedback. Learning how to receive feedback is a skill that nobody talks about, but it's really important. In life, we are still gonna hear feedback that you don't love. And I don't know about you, but most people tend to take it a bit personally, like, oh, if you hear like that thing that you did your code is not right, you hear, I'm not a great coder. That's not about it. You need to learn to take feedback, and learning that the feedback most times not about you. It's about something you did that could be done differently, right? And that's a precious skill they're gonna learn here. So back to your history, you're gonna have the code review, the code is gonna be approved or not. Now you're collaborating to that. And you see how many skills, technical and personal and soft skills learned through this. It's really precious. And you work with people. I think that's common when you're learning to code. You learn at home or at college. You learn it by yourself, right? So you don't have somebody to give code reviews, to collaborate with. And once you get your first job, that's how you do. You always work with people. So open source gives you a solid step stone for when you get to the real world to have some collaborative experience. Another thing that's one of my favorite things about working open source, you get some visibility, you get your networking. Right. I mean, visibility is pretty straightforward. You're gonna work in a project, people will start to see you. The more you work at the project, more your name and your experience, you're gonna be out there. Right. And networking is so awesome because there are people from all over the globe working on open source. You're not going to be only working with people from your country or people from your city or even from your continent. That's people from all the continents working open source. And most of the projects out there, they are pretty diverse. So you get to learn and to meet people from all over the world. And this networking later can be very useful for you to find a job, for you to find a new project. So this is like what make open source special. You really get to know people. You get to work together with these people and why you build a portfolio, right? Later, if you're working for a job, if you're looking for a job, you can show, hey, I contributed to this project. I made collaborations to that. And it really helps with the visibility. Like often when you're applying for a job, all the candidates have very similar background. And this contribution to open source may be the one thing that makes you stand out from the competition. So for you to get open source contribution, you have to have a profile in somewhere. I'm using GitHub example because I am GitHub lover. And one thing that's important for you is to have a profile, right? When you contribute, people can go to your profile. And if there's nothing there, people cannot reach you out. So here's my profile. Here I have a picture of me so people can know who I am. That's a little about me. Here I have my social so people can reach out if they need to talk to me or if they want to collaborate. I have a readme a little bit more about me and my background. And again, my email is here. Anybody that wants to talk to me can email me. It's pretty forward. So it's important that people can find you and people know who you are. Like I love anime, I'm out for anime, but putting an anime picture here makes harder for people to relate because to trust you because who is that person? Is that Goku? I mean, I love Goku, but if you can put a picture of yourself, right, and add some information, you have to have here the history of your life. That's not necessary, but it's enough so people can say, hey, okay, this person collaborates with my project. I like that. Oh, Pachi, okay, she works in community. That's cool. Maybe she can help me with something else. So I'm gonna email her and see if she wants to. This out together helps with career advancement. Okay, you can meet people and you're gonna meet new people. You're gonna learn new skills. And when you apply for jobs that have interviews, you're gonna see the difference. Another thing that I have been seeing, doesn't happen super often, but I have been seeing a few cases, is like a person becomes such a good contributor to that project that when this project grows up and they need to hire somebody, they hire the contributors because these people are already there. They already love the project. So it's really great. And you can use it, yeah, you can if you are working for a project that has some good friendly core maintainers, you can also ask them for referrals, right? If you're looking for a first job or maybe you're changing careers. That's like I'm not talking only about for juniors here. If you're a senior, but sometimes you're starting working with a new code stack, right? You are a front-end developer and now you want to work with Go. So you can go and contribute to a Go project and get some big grant there. And when you look for a job, you're going to have that experience and you're going to have the people from the community to back you up. So if you need a referral, if you need some code examples, if you need a portfolio, right? So open source can really be a helpful tool for you to get that step in the door that you want. Now, how do I choose the right project to contribute? That's a question that I got quite often. And I ask you to think about projects that you already use and look at that if they are open to contributions or similar projects, right? Often I see, okay, I am a front-end developer, I use React. React is open source. I want to contribute to React. Cool. But React is a huge project. So the chances of you getting contributions there and getting a good, consistent support is a bit difficult. So try to look for similar projects that are smaller. The chances of you to get good mentorship there are better. Not saying that React is not good, but like, just think about the competition. How many people want to contribute to React? And think about your career goals. Maybe I want to start learning more about something. See what you're using, what you want to work with, and look for these projects, right? Sometimes you need to learn a technology or just to learn more about technology you're using already. So try to align that. Another thing that I want to mention is that we have this mixed conception that, okay, I need to code. No, you don't need to code. My first open source contribution ever was a translation. I was translation documentation. You can do translation, you can write documentation, you can organize events, you can do design systems. You don't need to only code, right? Much after. Lots of times, open source projects, especially when it's growing, it is more than just code. Okay, and finding coders is easier than find somebody that gonna, for example, review the PRs or gonna organize the community. So there's a lot to do if you really like a project. So think about the possibilities. It's not only about the code. So about let's get started. How should we get started? Start small. You don't have to take the world in your back. You don't have to make a huge feature or fix the big bug of the millennium. Start something small. Help in the documentation. Often, if you're using a tool and you're gonna read the documentation and you see that stat is missing or something is not clear, you can contribute to that. You can make those fixes. Or you're using a product and the documentation is all in English, but lots of people in Argentina that could use a product. So you can start with the translation to Spanish. So you don't need to do big things. Another great way to get started is discussions. Lots of projects have discussions now, and that's such good way to share your ideas, to brainstorm, to get to know people, right? Sometimes you just have an idea, you don't even have to make any contribution. You can just like open an issue with your idea, right? Say, hey, I use this product, it's really cool, it's really nice. And what I think would make it even better is if we add this thing. You don't even need to do the thing itself, but sometimes just the idea can be really, really helpful. Okay, I step back. You started your own projects, okay? And you don't need to have a project that's going to change the world. You don't need to have React 2.0. It can be something small. I'm going to show you quickly. I have this project. It has over 1,000 GitHub stars. At the moment, wow, last time I saw I have 700. And it's really simple. People can come here. This is for Brazilian community. And if you know any tech event that's happened this year, you can add here and take you 5 minutes. I'm going to review that. And it's something that's really useful for me because I work in developer relations. And for my job, going to events is really important. And I will never be able to gather all this information. Look how many events have happened in Brazil this year. I'll never be able to gather all this information by myself because there are so many communities, there are so many cities, and this is an open source. Lots of people contribute to this. I think right now we have like 90 people have contributed to this project. It's a quick contribution. It's something kind of simple, just a list of events, but it's open source. That's really helpful. It's helping people, right? I'm not like changing the world, but it's something really cool. And I think okay, let me open my slides back again. So the idea is that you don't need to make some curious. some things that make your life easier, right? Most of these projects are to-do lists because to-do lists are fun. Just think like, what could it make your day-to-day life a bit easier and can be useful to other people? Start to know your tech event list in your country. Now, piece of advice for today is for you to document it. Document your journey, right? And you can do that in a variety of formats. You can have a journal. You can have a blog. You can blog posts about your learning. There's a tool I like. It's called hashtag 100 days of code. And every day for 100 days, you post a little bit of what you're learning. So share with people what you're learning. You can post once a week, like, hey, today I did some collaboration, some contribution to this open source project. I did this thing and I happened to have to learn this other thing. Give people shout outs, like you're doing open source. If something helped you, say, hey, tag them, say, hey, this person really helped me so much to learn something new. And I'm super glad to be contributing to this project. So it is you are tracking your journey, and a year from now you're gonna look at and see how much you have learned and grow. And when somebody asks you what you have learned, what you're working on, you're gonna have that to share. And sometimes the right person might just see like a post that you did on LinkedIn, and maybe you learned something that some company really needs somebody that knows that. So that's a great way to get to know people, to record your learning. And trust me, like a year from now, when you look like at the first steps of documentation, you're gonna see, wow, how much have I learned? How much have I evolved? It's really rewarding. That's a really great feeling. So that's a message that I want to leave for you all, and it's something very important for you to have in your mind. That open source is more than code. It's a bridge of opportunities. Like it's really a bridge. It's hard to contribute in today and really watch how your career transforms. But you cannot say you do one contribution, say, hey Pachi, I did a contribution and my career didn't transform. You need to have consistency, right? It's not contribute to a project here and then next month you're gonna contribute to another project. You need to be consistent. You do this often, and if you can always do the same project, that's a great way to building your brand and get people to know you, right? So consistency is really important, right? And like I say, doing small but useful contributions sometimes is better than have one huge contribution. That was yes, thank you so much everyone for listening to me, for being here. Here's a QR code. You can scan and find my socials. And if you don't want to scan that Pachi codes, you can find me in all the socials. Thank you so much. And I'm free. If you want to talk about open source, just reach out. Thank you so much. Bye bye.